algae belongs to the phylum Rhodophyta. Now, of course, chlorophyll is its primary pigment, but what's giving it the red color is its secondary pigment, which is called phycobilin, or collectively they're called the phycobilians. Now, these are able to photosynthesize in very, very deep water because they're absorbing that red pigment and they're reflecting all of the other green and blue pigments, and it allows them to photosynthesize down to a depth of 100 meters. So in the past, that's been a test question, is which one of these seaweeds can photosynthesize at greater depths. That would be your red algae. Now, there are some few species that live in fresh water, but most of them are the marine seaweeds. Their cell walls now are not made of cellulose. Their cell walls are made of calcium carbonate. And these types of seaweeds form coral. They collectively are coral. Now, coral can be a lot of different things. Coral, when you talk about coral reefs, that's a collective term also that can have a lot of things, that are certain types of coral, but sometimes coral is made up of seaweed. And if it is, it's usually what's called a coralline algae, and it gives it sort of a coral look, not really red, not really orange, but sort of a coral look. And that's due to the calcium carbonate that is in the cell wall. So you see them together. If we used to have a tank that was not fresh water, and on the sides of the tank this coralline algae would stick, and it gave it a really pretty color, and it looked solid, but if you looked at each individual one, it actually was you could see the individual algae that was making up this mass of coral. So it's very common for this type of algae to form coral reefs. This also, the red algae, has a lot of nutritious value. There's a species that we call nori, N-O-R-I, and that's the stuff that you see in sushi restaurants that they press out into sheets. Now, they can do that with green algae as well, but the red algae is the most common, that they press out into sheets and they dry it out. And they can use those in soups and sauces. A lot of times, red algae is used to form agar, and I'm not sure that you know what agar is, but it's what the medium is for the bottom of the petri dish if you're in microbiology and you have petri dishes, you have that substance in the bottom, and very often it's made from red algae. It's also used in pie fillings. It preserves a lot of thickening things like puddings and syrup. Sometimes they even put it in shampoos. So red algae has got a thickening property, and it's very, very common in a lot of foods, and very, very nutritious, very high in protein, and a lot of your trace elements.